Hello, this is a 5 handicap game played in the Osaka League that ended up in a blunder. So Black was supposed to answer this code threat in a way that it's effective and doesn't leave more code threats to White. So one of the best options here is just to play Atari and catch the stone. Of course, White will have Atari like this and Atari again, and these are two more code threats, then Atari like this, and another Atari, and finally Atari here and connect. So there are plenty of code threats locally, but the core is not even that large, so when White captures here, Black connects, and that's pretty much it. White will fix. The game was already decided at this stage. I think White is slightly ahead because of capturing these guys in the middle, but the way Black reacted to this code threat is probably because Black wanted to get rid of future code threats. So another way to defend is to play the net. So when White plays Atari, Black connects, goes out, Atari connect, and now Atari here cover, Atari like this, capture. Well, White still has plenty of code threats inside, but at least is not going to kill any of Black's stones. So anyway, after this blunder, White won the game by resignation. So let's check from the beginning. That's quite a slow way to start a handicap 5 game. Usually White wants to spread the stones all over the board on a fast pace like this, or attack a different corner from the other direction. Playing the slide is just too, let's say, too polite, being a handicap, or too honte. Black can answer, White extends for finishing up the Joseki, and then Black gets another big point like this, or approach the bottom side. Black can also play away, this is a fine idea, but in general, if Black doesn't want to take the corner, like the classic Sansan block, it's a good idea to try a pincer like h3 or a tsuke like g3. This would be more aggressive. Now, when Black plays the pincer h3, and later in the game it's coming, but it was just j3, White will take the corner, then Black goes for outside thickness. So we have this kind of Joseki where the ladder works for Black, and White will probably play a ladder breaker, in which case Black will just add another move to remove the Aji. Now the ladder is not going to go in the direction of the top, but switch to the bottom side, so White is not going to come out. Anyway, nothing wrong with O3, so White can take the Sansan immediately, then Black extends for a base on the left. And overall is still an excellent game for Black because of the 5 handicap stones. So White attacks the top, that's good. Defend calm. Black can already consider pincers, M17 or L16 or even K16. All these pincers are good options for Black, but if Black simply wants to keep the corner calm and collected, that's a fine way or approach in the handicap 5 games. So slide again, and Black plays away one more time. Now with the Tsuke and 17, there are several Josekis that I can consider. One is to Hane above, and the other one is to Hane under. So let's see what happens when Hane up. Black simply extends, White can go down, push along, or enter the corner. Usually it's one of the top moves like descent, in which case Black can turn or take the corner. Now when Black turns, White will get into the corner, Black can play one Atari, then a light connection like this, or extend for a base. So again, White is going to take the corner, but Black develops on the outside, on both sides, the right and the top. Now when Black secures the corner, White will push several times. Well, one time is good enough. Actually, 2 times it's also okay. And then protect. Now Black will extend in the top for a base or turn, and then White can Hane and Atari to secure I shape in the top, then play away. Another basic Joseki here is to push along, then Hane under, one space jump, double up, or Kosumi to protect against the cutting points. Then White gets the Sansan again, and Black extends on the side. So Black developed the right and the top, while White just fixed the corner. So that's a Joseki. Now when Hane under, Black can play the crosscut, sacrifice one stone, and go for outside thickness, and then extend along the side. This actually looks pretty good for 5 handicap. So white got a tiny corner, but black has a lot of potential in the center. So it's good to remember in the future that black can use an aggressive contact move like n17 if black doesn't want to block the corner at r17. That's another way of playing more actively, or at least to change something from time to time. Now it's very good directional play to go c9 here. So white has to extend towards the corner, then black plays the kick, white goes up, and this formation, it's a bit cramped for white. So this feels good for black overall, and black is also center. So right now, black can play the middle side extension to cover the most open space on the board, or think about more aggressive ways to attack, either m17 or n17 locally. Also okay to block the corner, let white extend, calm, and then take the middle side extension. If white extends again towards the top left corner, black will simply jump out and now the corner is safe. So playing L17 is not going to connect very well to Q16. That's why it's better to play a tighter pincer like M17. So when white goes in the corner, black has the Kosumi and Hane in order to connect to the top. So what black wants to gain here is just a wall, a thick formation on the outside. White already builds like 10 points in the corner, more or less, 8 to 10, but black can get a lot on the outside, especially if a middle side extension comes around Q10. So playing L17 doesn't put enough pressure on Q18. Now when white takes the corner, yeah, black should play away. It's no longer interesting to try to connect to the top. This is a good move, Q10, very nice. So white plays a submarine approach to damage this Moyo. That's a fine idea. Usually the move is S5, or it can be R4 attach, but S4 it's pretty much the same as S5. So when black plays a bump, white will pull back to S5, black blocks the corner, white plays the clamp as a probe. Usually here black should connect solid, then white goes out, black plays the double up, and white might even play another move like this or jump out towards the center in order to secure the base. If white plays away, for black it's very nice to go S7 and connect under to take away white's base and attack the whole thing. So S4 works pretty much like S5. When S5, black can play R4, then white pushes S4, and it's just the same kind of sequence, but in a different order of moves. Now, of course, black can think about R5, the move in the actual game. Also okay to play a move like S6. Maybe it looks a little more fancy. Simply block the corner, R3, and then block on the side, R9. That's an option too. So the actual move was okay, R5, because it's clear that black wants to go for a lot of thickness. So white will push to make life in the corner. Black can play a one space jump, block, or Nobi. I think the one space jump is probably the most common play, and it's a flexible shape. Usually here, white will attach Q3 and go down. Then black can play the block at S6, but it's not necessarily center, because the group is already alive in the corner. So black can just leave the position like this and pincer the bottom in order to go for more outside thickness. So here, white got 3 corners, but black has a huge potential in the center. The game is still looking good for black. No, it's possible too, and then white will just go in the sun to leave. And it's also okay to play the block, because white will cut to create some agi in order to leave in the corner. Black simply extends, white plays the attach and then descends, because with this move white is creating the option to play Atari and capture everything. So black has to react and play Q6. So just having a stone here, it creates agi for later in the middle of the board or on the outside, but white already lived in the corner. Then white needs a move like J3 to reduce the potential on the outside. But even so, black can play a shoulder hit in order to go for the box in the middle. So black can choose S6, R7 instead of just Nobi. Nobi again is good, simply get ahead, and then white leaves in the corner. Now black is center. Good idea to play J3, but it's still a little more active, puts more pressure to go H3. Now on H3, usually white will get into the corner. So black has the Kosumi and Hane, that's one option, or attach right away at F4, white will pull back, then black does the same thing to keep everything connected and go for the huge center. The plan is to build 100 points here. Just kidding, but anyway, it's a big box. So this J3 doesn't seem to put enough pressure on F3. Let's see, on this move, when white comes out, black can block the corner or jump along, and then when white goes into the corner, just play away. Put pressure in the top and try to connect the whole thing here. So J3, white jumps in the corner, then black blocks. This block is just an endgame. Shouldn't worry about this block, because first of all it's Gote. So it's more interesting to play the Kosumi, then cover, and keep pushing in order to go for the box in the middle. Because if white plays b5 or c4, black doesn't even have to react. On b5, for example, black can play e10. Then when white pushes into the middle, block now and get ahead. So it's still more important to go for the box. Playing the block here was slow, and it's too early at this stage, and now white can jump into the center. Yeah, so then okay, the left side it's safe, but the middle can suffer a little bit. Here black can play a peep and then jump, or even without a peep, just a two-space jump to connect to the tengen. These stones like this makes a border and encloses the box. One space jump, it's a little bit soft, leaves a big gap between J5 and K10, so white can jump in. But if you play a move like J6, it kind of narrows the gap, so it's gonna be a bit more difficult for white to get inside. So white invades the top first, black comes out. That's a nice idea. Simply play a one space jump, because this creates the option to surround the top stone with a shoulder hit, or to cover the top area and enclose the box at O16 or O15. So white jumps along, then black connects his border. So again, black can think about Kosumi and then cover and then push along. So this way it leans on white stones and still creates the border. But the idea of playing here is good too, because if black plays some other moves, for example this kind of block which is small, white jumps in and then the two stones in the top are vulnerable. So it makes sense to play O15. White jumps again, black encloses the box. Yeah, this sun is good to reduce the top. Very good to block D17. This is a fine block too, but in general here, you want to play the Hane, then Atari B17 and then block. Because this way, it keeps I shape in the corner. So it's much easier to stay alive. Being surrounded like that, when white pushes and black cuts, there's a problem later in the game when white goes B18. Because with this move and Atari under, it will take away black's I shape. But in this case, black can jump out once and then play a Kosumi or a peep and descend. So there is still enough space to make two eyes in the top. But it's good to remember the other block. So Hane, Atari under, and take. If white goes down, this is going to be a collapse because black can connect, and now black either captures at b14 or captures b18. So when white connects here, black goes down, and if white turns, black captures the stone. So far so good. Now p2, it's an endgame move, and usually here the reflex is to block o2, then white goes up, and then you need to block again like this or no b, as it happened in the actual game. The block is fine too, because when white cuts, black extends to the left, and that white stone is going to die inside, or it's supposed to. Now another way for black is to block at p3, then white will push, then it forces to play Hane in the head of two stones. White will connect back, Hane again, or cut one time to create some quadrats. When Hane, white will just connect, and then there's a cutting point at n3, so black might add another stone. Also, black doesn't have to play O1 Hane right away. Just connect against the cuts or jump along to enclose the middle, and then when white cuts, extend and fight inside to capture the 2 stones. It seems promising for black here to secure everything. So, and another option is to tenuki completely. So let's say we just enclose the middle, white can push up, go nobi, then white turns, play a 1 space jump, white plays a nobi or an attach, and you just play away, which is fine because black still encloses all the center. So this is like a reflex block, but in the future it's good to consider p3. Also, an option is to play q2 and then cut p3. White will push, block, take, Atari, capture, and then protect, or jump out, and on the cut just extend. This is safe. Now white does the same thing in the top right. Okay, block is fine. Now here, usually, yeah, c7 is the way to defend, but black has the option to play b8. That's another way to protect. When white pushes, just crawl to connect under. When white plays this attach, black can just leave the position as it is, Hane, Atari, and play away. Hane works too. The wedge is an option, or simply push and Hane under to expand the space and then add another move in the center. Anyway, this is a proper move. Then on the attach, usually the wedge is normal, but black can also consider tenuki here, or again, push and Hane under, and on the double Hane, simply connect. Now there are cutting points, so white needs to protect, and then you have time to play another move in the center to lock the door. Now, yeah, another option is to play Hane and cut through and push several times like this. Or simply tenuki, because if white plays the wedge, then Atari connect and then push and then Hane again on the double Hane connect, and white needs to connect like this or solid. So there's enough space for black on the left side, oops, to keep the eye shape. Therefore, black can tenuki and enclose the big area in the middle and the right side. So this wedge, Atari connect and white played in the middle. If white pulls back, which is the natural move, black is center and will enclose the center like this or like this. So it's really good timing for white to try to get inside. And this move seems right to be on the imaginary line where the border will form. I mean this one. So black blocks, Hane, Nobi, that's fine. Push and cut. That shows fighting spirit. I think here, even without a cut, just block with Hane should be enough. If white Hane, then you cut. And on the Atari go out, on this Atari connect. If more Ataris are coming from the bottom, answer everything. But now white has to connect back and black will cut this way. And if white connects under, black will cut this way. And the liberties in the center are a problem. And the group inside, it's also going to die. So there's Atari here, and then simply net and kill everything. White is going to collapse big time. So cut right away, Atari, and catch 1 stone. That's fine. White jumps in. Well, this is some sort of trade where black keeps most of the bottom side, but loses some ground in the center. Now here, white should play a 1 space jump. It's true, black can push and then peep and peep again, but white gets inside black's moyo a little deeper. This is a solid connection, then black can just leave it and play in the other places. That's a good move. Hane is nice to make eye shape. Actually here, black can play Nobi or 1 space jump, then white is forced to connect his stones to the top, and black can just keep more of the box. Because on the left side, black can reduce anyway. I mean, here black has Atari and connect. And if black jumps again and white plays the Nobi, black can come from the top side also to get inside, and from the bottom. So there is this direction to reduce, the top, the left. It's very difficult for white to enclose everything there. So black jumps in. Then, sorry, white, yeah, black jump in and white managed to make a life inside, quite comfortable. Yeah, so now it's time for black to compensate a little bit. Starting from a peep here to make white heavy and another peep, and it's a bit more effective because it creates a stick, and then play a one space jump. So now the whole group here is in danger for white. He might leave with push and cut and so on, but there are no more points in the center. Because actually this game was won by white, capturing some stones in the middle that he wasn't supposed to. Yeah, in this area, the fight is still going strong here. So black can block like this, threatening to cut, then Atari, then play a peep to make some shape, and now Atari like this to attack the left side. White is supposed to make some life here, then black can Hane, Atari, then catch a few stones in the center, for example. And all of a sudden black is making this territory because in the actual game white got some stones and created all that large territory in the center. So the block here was a change of direction, but the fight was still interesting in the middle left area. So here white protects. Black is too conservative. Must play Atari and try to go for some compensation in the center. This block is just to stay alive. And it's okay. Atari possible, but staying connected like this is safer. White will fight the core, of course. Nothing to lose. And then cuts the center. In fact, here it's good to connect. Then if white pushes, block one time, Atari, and connect the middle. Yeah, just connect solid. White has to pull back, then the table shape. And now all these stones are fine and connected. So let's see what happened in the actual game. The stones are still okay for now. If black plays Atari here and then Nobi, because if white cuts we have Hane, Atari, connect, white has to pull back, black connects and white has to leave somehow. But it's not going to be very easy because of the cut, Atari and push. So now white collapsed. Black was focused in the wrong area. So it's either Atari here to connect the center or connect like this to the top. Capturing that core will maybe hurt black. And it happens. So now white is looking to cut the middle. Black got the core, but white is build all this center. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 points plus the surrounding territory. More than 20 points where black could smash the left side instead. Too bad. So now the game starts to look promising for white. And the end game went pretty okay for white too. Lots of center moves. Well, that damages a lot in the corner, but it's Kote. This is fine. In fact, instead of Atari, black should play a peep like this. And then Hana in the corner. This Atari is not so important and not so urgent either. Not easy to go out. Just cut. But in fact the game is kinda close. Wait a second. Tuck, 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 tuck. Samaji. Yeah, here white should just Nobi because then white can push and damage some more, and now just Atari. Ana in Sente, very good. Capture one stone, that's big. Let's see if this is necessary. Atari, 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 and net. So if black has a stone here and white is trying the maneuver, the net doesn't work yet, but there's some danger with Atari here and cut. In fact, still okay. Only after the neutral points are filled, black has to play inside. But it's usually safer to connect solid than to try to find a fancy move. The thing is, when black connects T14, it's going to save an extra point, but it also leaves lots of code threads. So playing S8 is the right move to defend. Here, black can play Atari. No problem if white cuts. Black will just capture the stone. If white cuts again, ladder works. This block is not working when white has a stone at h3. So if white has a stone here and black plays away on the hane, black needs to nobi or to jump. Because if black plays here, then Atari from behind. But in this case, black can block, white connects, and now black connects. And there are no more code threats like in the actual game. So here, yeah, white plays away, hane Atari, then play away. It's okay to play one Atari here. So later, white doesn't play h3 in cente. It will destroy 2 points. That's fine. So cut, Atari, so far so good. Now we have that ko. First of all, it's not necessary to go down. The proper way is to connect d18. Now, if black wants to gain some more, black will hane, and then when white connects, black connects, and if white cuts, take the ko. But that's risky, and black can also leave it and fight the ko. So for example, play Atari here, white connects, take back the ko. So white goes down. This is a place where black can just connect, but okay, take the ko, fighting spirit, then cut, and here comes the blunder. Oops. But anyway, let's have a quick look. So if black connects, white takes, black eventually protects here because white has more code threats. White can Atari here in cente, Atari here in cente. This is an area where white should protect. So Atari connect, connect, connect. Then there's an Atari in cente for white here, which we wanna eliminate. Then connect the ko. Black will play this in cente, wedge, Atari, connect, and make a couple of extra points here. This push is big. So throw in block, take a liberty, Atari, connect. Then protect like this, threatening the corner. What else? Some ko fight. But the kos are all good for white, so we don't fight any ko here. Because white is rich in ko threats. Then hane and block, Atari, connect. So that's pretty much it. Now let's check the score real quick. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points here. 8 points for white. Top left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 38 points here. Huge. This area. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So already this is 50 plus 8, and here another 10 or so. So 68 points for white. Oh, that's a lot. Now for black, let's see the top. Prisoners are pretty much the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 10. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plus 12, 24, 26, 28, 30, 31. Let's put it 30 because here white can push. Then 11 here or 10. And another 20. Oh, okay. 20, 30, 40. Ooh, plus 30. 70. So close. So black was actually like 2-3 points ahead. If everything goes well and we don't lose the ko fight, or actually, well, miss the ko threat. So this was a super close game, and most likely black could win it if the end game goes well. But if black doesn't lose the group in the middle left in the early stage or in the middle game, then black wins this game by a comfortable margin. Enjoy the review and hope to do better next time against this opponent.